This is a video about the power of prayer. The power of prayer. I want to give a reference to why I decided to record this video and its importance in my life. My daughter, my only child, has been diagnosed with several unknown illnesses. Rare diseases that we're not sure there's cures for. My daughter has Pluto on her midheaven right now. In case anyone's wondering, I mean, I'm an astrologer. I know what we're talking about. I have Pluto in the first house right now, so I know what's going on. It's painful. I do believe in regeneration, though, and I believe in the power of prayer. I believe that there is no better time for the power of prayer, regeneration, or healing to occur than when someone has Pluto on the midheaven and their progressed sun in the 6th house. And they're a Virgo by birth. I believe she's got some miraculous healing coming. I believe it. Now, I could just be delusional, and that doesn't, I've got Neptune on the midheaven by birth. So I tend to be a little delusional, and I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in something greater than you or me or any of us that somehow it works. Look, you see my chest? I show my chest a lot. I mean, especially for my age. You see how, I'm in my 60s. But do you see my chest? My neck? My décolleté? What do they call it? Décollage or whatever they call it. I had been burned from the chin down. This whole part of me was black. Like blackened chicken. I kid you not. To a crisp. So I had went to church one week, and I'm a Mormon. In case anyone wonders, I'm actually a Christian. I know it sounds crazy, but I believe in certain things, and one of the things I believe in is the power of prayer. So I had went to church, and the men in the church, the bishopric, they all took notice. I mean, it was black. I was obviously horribly scarred, and they called an emergency meeting and took me into a room. It was a group of men from the elders quorum. It was just a whole bunch of men. And they put the oil on me, and they laid hands, the prayer. So I can't attest to if it was exactly the next Monday, which would have been the day after Sunday, or if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. But you notice I only went to Wednesday. Could have been Thursday. It wasn't that many days, you guys. I want to say it was the next day. But then that's more like a movie. But this whole thing was miraculous anyway. Anyway, I was sitting at my desk in my office because I had to work, right? And my chest was itchy. Like I said, it was like chicken. It was like blackened chicken. It was hard. It was crusty, and it was itching. It was itching, and I itched it and I scratched it, and a piece, I just started picking at a piece. It just felt like it wanted to peel off, and it peeled off like a strip, like this. And I was like, what? And then I picked at it a little bit more, and it peeled like a strip across. And another piece peeled out, and it was big. Can you see any scars on my chest? I mean, noticeable, other than veins. I was blessed in a miraculous way. I believe so much, so deeply in the power of prayer. Oh my gosh. When you go through something like that, it changes everything about everything. I've never been quite the same when it comes to faith and prayer and belief in something. You call it whatever you want to. I call it Heavenly Father. Something's greater than us. There's something either greater than us or something within us that's greater than we know. But that happened to me. Also, I've told this story before, but I was laying in my bed. My daughter had gotten to the point where she was about to put me in assisted living. I used to be over 500 pounds. I had fallen, and I was in my bed. My legs were swollen. They looked like logs. I couldn't walk at all. And the guy who was our bishop then came to my house. Him and some missionaries. And they prayed over me. And I got a blessing of him. And from that moment, I now walk. I danced earlier today. I can stand, I can cook. I've lost over 370 pounds. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying I'm changed, regenerated, improved. And it was all through the power of prayer. Now, I do have Pluto in the first house. I'm an astrologer. I talked about that. And my daughter has Pluto in the 10th house. I'm an astrologer. I've talked about that. These are areas of intense regenerative abilities and power. I was also born with Pluto in the 8th house by birth. And she was born with Pluto in the 6th house by birth. This is why I believe that miraculous regenerative healing is possible. It's literally in her horoscope right now. She's got a progressed sun in Libra in the 6th house. It's meant to be. Okay, I believe that. Now, I want to say that the power of prayer works for everybody. I believe that. So I'm going to create something altogether different that is called the power of prayer. The power of prayer. And if you stick with me, you will go through that, okay? The power of prayer. But I wanted to tell why I wanted to do the power of prayer and why it was so important to me, because I'm probably going to, do something where I give that or provide that in some way for people to get a hold of it. And it's because of what I'm going through as an individual, as a mother, as a person. I've got my moon in the 4th house by birth. As a mother, this affects me in deeper ways than I'm probably even aware of. But I wanted to at least do something that just to do this in general, to put this out here. One about my faith and one about my daughter, one about my belief in her healing. It is August 11th. We're still in the Lionsgate 88 portal. It doesn't end until the 12th. So I want to manifest it now before I ever get to this book. I started with the book. I never got to it yet. But I want to manifest this, that my daughter is healed by the Most High. She is healed in every possible way by the Most High right now. Her body is healing as we speak. The problems that have been causing her so much discomfort are being removed from her. She is healing. In every possible way, she is healing. It's meant to be. She has a purpose here on this earth, and because of that, she must heal. Maybe it's this disease that she has is part of her purpose, is here to bring attention to it. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, the Most High Heavenly Father knows this. And I have already bended to the will of whatever that might be. Because I know only the best and highest, and is what is meant to happen. But I do believe in the regenerative powers of Pluto and the healing powers of the progressed sun in the sixth house, and the power of my prayer with Pluto in the first house transiting and in the eighth house by birth. I know that my prayer is heard. I feel that deeply. I know that. And this is not about anyone knowing publicly, about prayer. This is about my belief in my child. Because I want my child to heal. That's pretty much my only focus right now in life, is that my child heals. She's an adult child, but she's still always going to be my child. And it affects me as a person, because I know my child is suffering. So I want my kid to heal. And to that end, I'm just going to take a break, and then I'm going to discuss the power of prayer. This is an ebook that I stumbled across, but we're going to talk about it and what we can implement from this ebook to increase our prayer, to amplify our prayer, and to make sure our prayer gets to the place and the person and deity it needs to, in order to work, because we need these prayers to actually work. And I do believe when I pray to Heavenly Father and I'm sincere in my heart about what it is I desire, that these prayers are provided unto me. And with this, I'm going to say adieu. I will be back momentarily, and we'll talk about the book, The Power